Hello my dear students, today we will deal with the second part of the post fertilization changes, that is the part after implantation, and the major change that happens is the characteristic movement of the inner cell mass, and which is called the morphogenic movement. And as a result of morphogenic movement you find two layers of cells, one is called the epiblast and the hypoblast, with the trophoblast remaining intact. Thereafter what happens, a fresh layer of cell is formed which is very close to the trophoblast layer, which is called the amniogenic cells. Now after that the amniogenic cells mature to form the amniotic cells, the epiblast, hypoblast and the trophoblast are intact. Followed by the amniotic cells, there is yet another cavity that is formed which is called the amniotic cavity, and another layer of cells at the lower part which is called the endodermal cells of the yolk sac, and this is the primary yolk sac. Moving further, what happens, the amniotic cells and the endodermal cells of the yolk sac, they come closer to one another and therefore leaving a gap between them and the trophoblast. And here is the gap which is actually called the extra embryonic space, because this region actually forms the embryo. So amniotic cells, amniotic cavity, epiblast, hypoblast and the endodermal cells of yolk sac, all these parts contribute to the formation of embryo. And here the primary yolk sac converts to secondary yolk sac. And now you find out this structure, which is this space between the trophoblast and the embryo. This space was called extra embryonic space, and now this space is lined by the extra embryonic mesodermal layer. Now remember, this extra embryonic mesodermal layer have two layers. So it is split into two layers, as you can see, the somatopleuric extra embryonic mesoderm and the splanchnopleuриc extra embryonic mesoderm. The somatopleuric layer is closer to the trophoblast, whereas the splanchnopleuриc layer is closer to the embryo. And remember one thing, trophoblast along with the somatopleuric extra embryonic mesoderm forms the chorion. Now you understand that it is lined by the mesodermal layer, so the space is actually called the extra embryonic coelom, because coelom is the space which is lined by the embryonic mesoderm. Moving on to the final structure, what happens is, these embryonic structure here, what happens is the epiblast actually pushes the amniotic cells to create a lip-like structure followed by a cleft. The cleft is called the primitive streak, and here there is the formation of primitive streak along with the amniotic cells. So amniotic cells, primitive streak, at the same time the epiblast is here, the hypoblast is actually fused, and thereafter there is a gap that has occurred. Now see here, this is the epiblast, formation of the primitive streak, this is the amniotic cell, this is the hypoblast, and here is the endodermal cells of the yolk sac, and therefore there is a gap or the vacuum that has been created, and that vacuum will be filled up by the mesodermal cells of what layer, which is closer to the embryo, and this is the splanchnopleuриc extra embryonic mesoderm. So these mesodermal cells will actually invaginate within this gap, and what happens is the final structure, and outer to that is the trophoblast along with the somatopleuric extra embryonic mesoderm, which is basically called the chorion. As you can see here, this is the chorion. Now what happens, from the primitive streak it converts into ectoderm and followed by the formation of allantois and finally the formation of umbilical cord. So as you can see here, the first and foremost structure that was formed in the germinal layer was the endoderm, followed by the formation of the mesodermal layers. So first endoderm was formed, followed by the formation of mesoderm, and finally the formation of the ectoderm from primitive streak. So you understand, formation of endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. The first to form was endoderm, second to form was mesoderm, third to form was ectoderm. And remember, the formation of ectoderm is called epiboly, and the formation of endoderm and mesoderm is called emboly. Now remember, from the first stage up to the formation of the germinal layers, all these three are germinal layers. So the formation of germinal layers from the first stage is actually called gastrulation. So gastrulation is the stage after implantation occurs, and please remember, during cleavage the nucleolus starts forming in the gastrular stage. So this is all about the formation of the germinal layers, and remember, after the formation of the germinal layers organogenesis actually occur, which is at present not included in the NEET syllabus. So please remember the post fertilization changes up to implantation and thereafter up to the formation of the germinal layers. Thank you so much.